Video games make you violent. Oof. That must have been a hard false reality to live under. I, and assumably you, are fortunate enough to have grown up as gamer folk in a world where this expression had either already been or was in the process of being disproved. We know today that this isn't true, and we'll get to some examples of why that is later. But what's important right now is that I disclose to you that for a long time, I've doubted this. I doubt that video games don't make you violent, or in other words, I suppose that under certain conditions it's possible that a video game and a video game alone could be the cause of a person's violent behavior. Why is that? Well, because of a personal experience I've had with guess which hyper-violent game your parents would have never let you play as a kid. Gather round, losers. Story time. It's easy to forget the technological and cultural impact of Wii Sports Resort. So remember the Wii? It was marketed as this incredible machine whose peripherals would translate your movements one-to-one into its games. Turns out that was mostly baloney. I mean, it still did some fun stuff, but it was mostly baloney. So a good few years into the console's life, they put out this attachment, the Wii Motion Plus. This butt plug looking device encased a super accurate gyro sensor which promised to, well, fulfill the console's original promise. And did it? Heck yeah, it did. The Wii Motion Plus allowed for games to be developed in which the most minute movement affected by a player could impact their performance in the game. And what better way to demo this than to package it with a sequel to Wii Sports? Whereas Wii Sports Scope was broad movements and swings and waggles, Wii Sports Resort was chock full of games where wrist positioning was critical. We weren't in infrared sensor town anymore. We were in Gyro City. Now when you go to Gyro City, you get what you expect. Pita, fries, and a salad. But as far as the game goes, this is the sort of accuracy they were working with. This joke cost me $20. There's no coming back once I take a bite. I can't do another take. $20, well spent. For context, I tried last weekend working this joke into my actual dinner. It failed, so I've already had dinner and now I have all this food. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But I'm 24 fucking years old. I'm still doing this fucking bullshit. I need to be put to rest. One of its games, though, was the main reason you'd want to try this thing out. Freaking, believe it or not, one-to-one motion-controlled sword fighting. And this is the game that made me mad. Every time I played this game, it was the same story. I'd be fine for a little while, and then suddenly, once I reach a certain difficulty level, I'd just get pissed. I would start slamming stuff when I lost. I'd punch my damn couch. I'd slam my controller against the table. It was like something I couldn't control. And worse, the same thing would happen with my little sister when she played. For this reason, Wii Sports Resort took its place as the second game which my mom ever had to ban us from playing, a spot it well deserved right next to Duke Nukem for the Game Boy Color. And here's what never made sense to me about this. So, according to a lot of studies, games don't make people violent or aggressive. What are contributing factors to violent behavior, though, are things like a family history of violence, substance abuse, some societal causes, stuff like that. And that's why I've never been able to wrap my head around this. I mean, I was a Canadian kid that's like the most non-violent demographic you can imagine. This is how old I was. I made this video 3 days after Wii Sports Resort came out. Family history of violence? No, not really. I mean, shit, I don't know how much reach into the future this video will have, but I was born into probably the last generation in which spanking your kids wasn't socially unacceptable, me being on the receiving end, that is. I got, as we say in Italian, a little pakpako culo from time to time when I was being a little bit too much of a, as we say in Greek, malaka. But that was it. So that's why for a long time I've been unconvinced that games are incapable of making us violent, because unless I'm missing something, this game made me and my family violent without any external factors. Unless... here's the external factor. Motion controls. Due to my personal experiences, I think in general games cannot be a sole factor in aggressive or violent behavior. But for the longest time and in the back of my mind is where I stored this little doubt that this also held true for games whose take on immersion goes a step further. And in the back of my mind is where this little doubt, this little thought stayed until I got an Oculus Rift this year. Here's a dramatic reenactment of myself playing Robo Recall for the first time.
Customer is aggressive.
Oh my god. This is incredible. Oh my god. This is incredible. More so than any technology, virtual reality, hereafter referred to as VR, is allowing for the most emergent gameplay video game players have ever seen to take place. That's even if we can call these basic movements and interactions gameplay. I don't think that's a strong enough word. While we're still here in the introduction, for the sake of this video, VR is a virtual reality experience which a user interfaces with through a specialized headset which displays stereoscopic 3D images and includes head tracking. In VR, the user experiences the world through the body of some avatar which they are viewing through the eyes of. Additional tracked controllers for things such as hands or legs are optional. So it's VR if it's 3D, it's first person, and there's at least motion control of the head. I specify this because by this definition, neither a plain 3D video screen nor a 2D projection of a game played with motion control are allowed to be called VR. These distinctions will be important later. What is VR going to do? What is it already doing? What are the impacts of this technology on us personally, psychologically, but also on a grander scale, societally? What kinds of conversation should we be having about VR, or what sorts can we be having before it's too late? And in terms of those creating content, aka games for VR, what are their ethical concerns and responsibilities? What are ours as a society that's currently receiving this tech with open arms, it seems? Is it maybe time to reconsider violence in video games in 2019?